student success in terms of how it relates to students who are on SAP, where SAP students who have completed their appeal from dismissal successfully. So that's where you are right now, and we're looking forward to working with you. So hold on tight, and we'll get started right away. Welcome. Um, okay, let's start here. First of all, welcome. Our commitment to your success is the first part we're going to cover. What does it mean to be SAP dismissed is second. Third is understanding the SAP appeal process. And fourth is maintaining good academic standing. Now, I do want to mention to you that because of your status right now, the first couple of portions here we'll go over fairly quickly because we don't want to spend too much time on it, understanding that you all have had an appeal approved, which is why you're here right now. Okay, so we will gloss over that though, just to make sure you're aware of the process and how we got here. Okay, our commitment to your success. We want to provide you with all the information that you need to get back in good academic standing and successfully complete your academic program at post-university. Please do not let embarrassment about the temporary situation hinder you from taking advantage of the resources and assistance available to you. You do not have to figure it out all on your own. We are here to help. And that's one of the key takeaways we have from this workshop is the importance of understanding that we have the support mechanisms in place to help all of you to be successful. Okay, so again, briefly, what does it mean to be SAP dismissed? As you know, you probably have met one of the two areas in terms of where you need to meet a certain criteria that you did not meet. Okay, one area is GPA. So your grade point average was lower than it should have been depending on where you were in your program. And for your PACE requirements, that was lower than it should have been depending on where you were in your program based on a percentage of courses you completed and passed successfully that you started. Okay, so that means you don't have an F, a UF, unearned F, or a withdrawal from a course, because those wouldn't be counted. Either way, we want you to try and learn from your dismissal and not repeat the same mistakes. It's also of note too that you can be both have both a GPA requirement deficiency and a PACE requirement deficiency as well. Some students have a combination, again, depending on where you are in your degree plan in terms of how far along you are with your program. Okay, understanding the SAP appeal process. Let's talk about that. Mitigating circumstances. We looked for mitigating circumstances from each of you. Okay, these were needed for audit purposes to make sure we had documentation to indicate that you had a problem that precluded you from being successful in your last course. We can't just simply return students to the school for additional chances without some type of reason why they weren't successful. So that's very important. Approvals versus denials, only about a 30% approval rate for our program, right? You typically, deans only have an approval rate of somewhere between, I don't know, I've seen it go as low as 28%, 27%, and as high as 32 or 33%. So it typically falls right around 30% for your approval rate. And that's very good because that indicates that you are part of a group of students that the deans completely believe are going to be successful. And it is not a large group of students, as you can tell. 37 or 30% approval rate is not that many. So that's good that you did that well. So congratulations on making it this far. Another part of this too, with the SAP appeal, is we then work on your academic plan and ensuring that you are successful with it. Usually it takes 4 or fewer terms to get back in good academic standing. That's the requirement of the plan. And you work closely with an advisor to keep you focused on your requirements. The advisor components can be very key. You're going to have specialized advisors who will be working with you from this point on. And you may not be introduced to them right away, but you will be introduced to them soon if you have not, especially those of you that have taken a term off or in between because you were just recently approved. So that's very important. Now let's think of maintaining good academic standing and what that looks like. Apologies if you can hear my dog barking in the background. How do you get back in good academic standing is the big question. We want you to focus on these key areas to be successful. The first one we're going to look at is time management. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit deeper about time management in our next slide here. But basically, you want to schedule a little bit of time daily if you can, but ideally 3 or 4 times per week to work on your course. And you want to submit your work by due dates. And there's a reason why, because it will allow you to make sure that you don't get points taken off for being late. That will just improve your opportunity to have a good grade, basically. The next area is speaking with your instructor. Okay. Your dialogue with your instructor is going to be so critical to your success here. Okay. If you're able to establish rapport with your instructor, reach out to them, introduce yourself to them. Let them know that you may reach out to them for questions, or if you have any initial questions after looking over the course information, ask it. Okay. And stay connected throughout the course. Again, your instructor is going to kind of be your co-pilot in terms of being successful in your courses. So please be sure you follow along with them and ask questions and be responsive to them if they reach out to you. Another good thing to do, and this is a little more difficult, but it's a little bit of a skill challenge for you, is trying to form study groups if you can. And it's difficult in an online environment to connect with students, but the best way to do it is connecting with your classmates through some different areas. And I'll give you a couple of examples right now. One area you can connect with your students through is through the intro discussion boards. So when your colleagues in class introduce themselves to everybody, that's a great opportunity to find someone on the board you have something in common with it. Reach out to them and say, respond to their intro and say, wow, what a great, that's a really great background you have. You actually are in the type of program that I'm looking to get into, or you're in the job right now that I have in a similar field. Let's connect. Right. And that's a great opportunity to then connect with them and see if maybe they're getting the same degree as you and start on some common threads and figure out if there's a way, an opportunity for you to speak to those students and maybe collaborate and maybe get some answers on some questions. Students can be a great sounding board for you. Another great place too is also called the water cooler. So in the discussion board area, there's a place there called either the water cooler or I believe the hallway hangout, depending on what course you're in. I think it's called different things, but that's another great opportunity for you to reach out to your colleagues in class and ask them some good questions. Okay, so highly recommend you check into that. Support resources. Let's talk about that. What do we have? At Post University, we pride ourselves in having a lot of different supports for students. Whoops, I went a little too far. Sorry about that. To help them out and be able to help them be successful. The first one is Trorig Library. The Trorig Library, I think, is an underused resource by our students. A lot of students, think of a library and they think of it's a big building on campus, and you really can't picture it in a digital sense, but it is. It's available virtually for all students to use. It's a great place to find some wonderful topics for you for papers. You can use it to find some good sources, peer-reviewed sources to help you with what you're looking for. Librarians can help you with searches. So highly recommend you reach out to them and ask questions, and they can really point you in the right direction. The Center for Academic Success, also a great tool for students, highly recommended. If you reach out to them, they'll be able to assist you with being able to, answer questions on time management. You can ask them questions. They have a wonderful writing center. And they can also point you in the direction of tutors. During the year, the regular school year, which ends shortly for us, we do have our Pear Deck tutoring service. We have our peer-to-peer tutoring service with some students available to help you. But we also here have the Pear Deck tutor service as well online. And Pear Deck is an excellent resource for students to be able to use and collab. Sorry about that. I did it again. And really check in and find some additional resources for you for your courses to help you out and give you some additional supports. Workshops. I'm going to put a little shameless plug in here for our workshops. This is an example of a workshop format that we run. We have workshops in everything from time management to APA writing to student empowerment. We have some really good workshops that we want to share with you, covering a lot of different areas, and they can help you be successful too. So highly recommend you look into them. And of course, your advisor. I cannot stress this enough. You will be getting a new advisor unless you are in the military program or in a grad program. You will be getting a new advisor to help you through the process with your academics. So please, when your advisor reaches out to you to introduce themselves to you and to tell you your new class and schedule, please be responsive to them. Ask questions, and they're going to be a great resource for you throughout your course. So please, and throughout your time in SAP status, okay? If you're in SAP warning, or anything like that, as you move through and move back to good academic standing, they will be there to assist you along the way, and they're experts with helping you get back to that point. Okay. Assistance with personal issues. Here's some areas we can help you out. First of all, the Student Online Assistance Resource, or SOAR, is a wonderful service we have that helps students with counseling, It helps students with legal questions. It helps students with support locally, near or regionally, I should say, to where they are. So you can really find some wonderful resources there. So I highly recommend you check into our SOAR program online at Post University's site. We also have You at Post. You at Post is our wellness site. That will help you really stay focused in terms of helping you with wellness, your health, etc., making sure you're of sound body and mind when you're attending your classes. And of course, accommodations through Disability Services Office. It goes without saying that if you have any type of injury, medical injury, or disability that precludes you from being successful in your courses and has done so to this point, and you have not yet let us know about it, please, please, please do so as soon as possible, and we'll be ready to work with you in our Disability Services Office. We will put you in touch with them through reaching out to your advisor. So if you have like an IEP or something like that on file that we don't know about yet, or some type of documentation from your medical practitioner, please let us know as soon as possible, and we'll work with you to help you out. Okay. Now, you remember at the beginning I talked about time management a little bit. I'm going to get very specific here and tell you guys how your ability to log in and participate in your courses certain amount of times per week can give you a greater opportunity at success. We can't guarantee it, but I can show you here how it might work. These students are business school students from the first 3 weeks of their courses in spring. I think it was 2023 or so. But what we did was we did a test with them, and we went ahead, or not a test, but we did some research on them. We chose those students and we looked to see where students wound up at the end of their course after participation for the first 3 weeks of class alone. Just that snapshot with those 3 weeks. This is what we found. Orange indicates passing a class, blue indicates failure. For students that participated on average less than one time per week, okay, on the left-hand side. So for example, maybe they joined late or maybe they didn't participate a week or something like that. You can see here that their likelihood of success in passing the course is much less. It's about a third of, or actually about half of an opportunity that you had to fail the course for that student population, okay? So as you could see, orange was much less than blue in this area. Now, as you look over here to the next column, it shows just by going once per week, one time per week, average to be able to participate in your coursework in your class. Suddenly, that rose up to 70% likelihood of passing the course. So that's pretty impressive. Just by making sure you did it at least once per week, you suddenly have a 70% chance of passing based on our data. Okay. Now, as you went to twice per week on average, look what happened here. 90% chance of success in the course. There's 90 or 95% chance of successfully passing the course. Based on the research we did, you had a 95% likelihood of passing the course here. And then as you move forward and you see you go 3 and 4 and higher times per week, it moves up to 99% or 100% chance likelihood of passing the course. Okay. So again, we can't guarantee you that you're going to be successful in your courses and pass your courses, but we can tell that by participating a certain amount of times per week, based on the data we have, your likelihood may increase. Okay. Very important. And something else to remember too, okay, and this is very important for on your status. Passing just means passing a course. That's D or higher, okay, for the most part. But for those of you that are in SAP status, you may have to get a certain higher grade on your courses to be out of SAP status, okay? So keep that in mind. You not only have to pass a course, but you also have to be highly successful in the course as well. So if you need to get a, let's say an 80, or let's say a B plus in your courses to improve your GPA, you need to make sure that you're logging in enough times per week to do the work that it's going to take to get an 80 B plus in that course, whatever that looks like. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. Attitude is everything. This is probably my favorite slide of all of them. Why? Because keeping a positive attitude and finding genuine interest in the topic at hand will help you be more likely to retain information and improve the process of learning. Very important. Okay. If you think about the class and the workload positively, it's going to help you. All right. I like to use the example of myself in grad school. As an undergrad, I was terrible at math, never liked it, never wanted any part of it. By the time I got to grad school, I realized I had to take a statistics course. And so for me, I really put my mind to the statistics course. I focused real hard on it, and I ended up getting an A in the course. And the way I was able to do it was I was taking an education course at the time, and I was able to apply my skills from that course, from the course I was, or my experience in the classroom, from the course I was taking in education, and apply that to the statistics course and use the statistics skills I was learning to be successful at that data and be able to pull that data. And it kept me interested, kept me excited by it. It helped me understand it better. Okay, another example I like to use is those of you that have to take an accounting course. Why not try and use the accounting measures that you're learning about, use them for something that is important to you, right? Could you use it for could you use it for your household budget or your budget in your department at work, right? There's all different kinds of answers for you that may help you out, okay? And last but not least, you are here because your deans believe that you are going to be successful and complete your SAP process and graduate from your program successfully. We know you can do this. Okay. We're in your corner. Everybody, your advisors, your deans, everybody, your faculty, they know you can do this, and that's why you're here right now. So when you come back, whether it's for term 6 or term 1 in June, whatever that is, okay, be ready because we're here and we know you can be successful. So take a deep breath, dig in, and we're going to help you get to the finish line successfully. Because again, we know you not only are going to do well enough in this course to be successful and continue on in the process, but we know you're going to successfully return to good academic standing, and we know you're successfully going to graduate from post-university and successfully join our list of esteemed alumni. Okay, and that is all I have. So we're at the end of this presentation. So I'm going to now go back. I'm going to stop presenting. I'm going to see if anyone has any questions in the chat. And let's see what's going on, see what questions you guys may have. Please feel free to put a question in the chat, or you can also use the hand raise feature and take yourself off mute if you'd like to. We're a small enough group where we can do that, but it doesn't sound like we have any questions yet. So I want to give you guys about 30 seconds and see what questions you have right now. If you don't have any questions, again, this is a reminder, classes start on June 28th, June 28th, listen to me, April 28th, for those of you that are returning this term. For those of you that are returning next term and are back for term 6, I believe it is going to be, I don't know exactly the date, but I do think it will be, I think it's in late May when your next course, or maybe it's earlier, I'm sorry. No, it's not late May, I'm sorry. Might be I think it's the 23rd of June will be when your next class starts. Okay. So be ready. Okay. You got time here. For those of you that are back on term 6, you've already had time. So take a deep breath, focus, and you'll be very successful. We have faith in you guys. Okay, William, your hand is raised. So please take yourself off mute and ask your question. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you. Great to hear from you.
You too. I was just
Okay.
wondering, are they going to take an account of the names who were in here and let them know that we attended the
Yes.
staff?
Yes, I will have attendance and I will make sure I present it to them so they know you attended. So anyone who's here right now, this meets your requirement for being able to participate in these and required to participate in them. So you're all set. If anyone was worried about that, your names are here. I see everybody's full names in here. As long as it matches up on our student records, except for Mira. Mira, if you could put your last name in the chat, that would be great so we know who you are. And I can make sure I list you on our list. And if anybody else here has a name that's not the actual name of the university, please put that in the chat as well so we know who you are. But William, you're all set. This meets your requirement. If you do have any lingering questions or want to see this again, I believe it's to be presented again next Thursday. That would be Thursday. I think it's going to be May 1st. So if you do want to attend again, you have more questions, you're more than welcome to, but you do not have to now. You're all set.
I had one more question.
Please go right ahead. Thank you,
So
Shamir.
what was the question? I'm supposed to come back in the first term of the next year, I guess, or whatever.
Got you. Yes.
Is that going to be June 23rd?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
So you got plenty of time to be ready, and sometime between now and then, you will be contacted by whenever your SAP, whoever the SAP advisor assigned to you is, and they'll make sure that you're set with your class and everything, and introduce themselves to you, and you're ready to go.
Cool.
Great. Looking forward to it. Thanks, William. Appreciate it. Okay, what other questions you guys have? Give you guys another 30 seconds or so. Again, while we're doing that, again, I'm just a reminder, you're here because we believe you can be successful in your courses. So again, I want you guys to gain a little bit of confidence. This is your time to shine, and we know you guys are going to be in great academic standing when you're done with your SAP status. So we look forward to helping you move past this and get back to good academic standing, and we're ready. So I hope you guys are ready too when you come back and you're ready to jump right in. And again, we're here to assist you along the way. Okay, give you guys another 10 seconds or so. See if anyone raises their hand. Put something in the chat. If not, I'm going to wish you guys a wonderful evening. This session again will be recorded, so you will see it up on our website at some point in time soon. So that's about it. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and I wish you the best of luck. Whether you're starting term 6 or term 1, we look forward to having you back. We welcome you back. We're looking forward to seeing you soon. All right. Take care, guys. Have a great evening.